How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
Retro Studios' major strength wasn't just coming up with new ideas for Metroid games, but their careful integration of each new idea into the existing Metroid canon. The visors, suits, beam weapons, and grapple upgrades all tied back into things that have been established in NES, Metroid 2, or Super Metroid. The result of this careful integration has been a strongly linked set of series mainstays that sink in as part of the series' identity. So much that the question of what new upgrades Samus gets isn't usually asked in open-ended terms, but in terms of what new suits, beams, visors, or morph ball abilities she might acquire. So, for Samus to be given psychic telekinesis powers for this adventure, it feels out of place if you're accustomed to Retro's old way of integrating. Think about this. We're in this sci-fi setting with crazy contraptions and advanced weaponry. Samus is a professional bounty hunter armed with state-of-the-art battle armor and gadgets that can be modularly upgraded, and you decided all that wasn't enough. On top of everything else, she needs to be Jean Grey as well. Why are Metroid games lately so obsessed with giving Samus superpowers? It's as if they'd rather she rely on some unearned power boost than anything consciously designed to give her an advantage. No longer is she empowered by intelligently crafted inventions brought forth by reason, but something magical, unknowable, or even accidental. It's a subtle shift in the series' philosophy that may go unnoticed by most, but it seems consistent with Metroid Dread's trend of deflating reason as the greatest source of power in the universe. I just remember how the Luminoth talked of their efforts to invent the beam weapons and light crystals in their war against the Ing, or how the Bryonians' scientific advancement was snuffed out, leading their people to devolve into wild animals. Even the Chozo, after they abandoned Skytown in favor of living among nature and seeking mystic insight, were then unprepared for their planet's Leviathan impact, only able to quarantine the spread of Phazon, and quite unsuccessfully at that. I believe Retro's thematic embrace of reason was not a coincidence. The philosophy of the 2000s was much more pro-technology, pro-progress than anything you see today. Games were exploding in technological advancement. There was an air of excitement at what new possibilities and inventions lay before humanity. I believe such a philosophy naturally gives rise to greater creativity, which is reflected in the art. Game studios were in a period of experimentation, trying new things. In a word, breaking convention. So it's sad to see that attitude seemingly gone at this point. Nothing exemplifies current Retro's adherence to convention quite like their inclusion of the bike. In a world of morph ball spinners and cannons, doors that you shoot to open, grapple points, invisible platforms only shown through X-ray technology, parkour walls that redirect the momentum of the screw attack, hovercraft, spaceships, and more, how weird is it to have Samus riding something so normal? Say what you will about the potential gameplay issues of the open world design of the desert, but the more alarming concern is how designs so un-Metroid could have made it past the ideas stage at Retro. Other than her ship, Samus hasn't really had a form of transportation across large distances, so when it became necessary to give her one, the design team didn't have anything pre-established to fall back on. They had to come up with something from scratch. Knowing that this is how they chose to use such an opportunity doesn't fill me with confidence. It's like they're slowly replacing everything that was different about Metroid with things they think will be more palatable or appealing. And, oh boy, what they think will be appealing says a lot about the creative integrity of Retro these days.
You're alone, on a planet, with no hope of survival. But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in that cubicle, so... Win?
Do you remember how Metroid Other M portrayed the whole world as hating Samus, treating her as just another military grunt, untrustworthy, even dangerous? We all pointed back to the way characters treated her in Metroid Prime 3. The Federation troopers in that game had an air of respect and admiration for her personally. The reason it felt good was not just because the characters had acknowledged her greatness, but that you could tell she inspired them to do their best as well.
Aren't you Samus Aran? It's an honor to meet you.
They worked alongside her as equals, cooperating to get the hard job done. It was even possible for you to get on their nerves a little bit if you were interrupting their work.
Nasty business. I have a feeling this will be worse.
I've got a lot of work to do here.
I'm sorry, but this requires my full attention.
They had a sense of self, an ego, to apply their inspiration to. It made your greatness feel earned. Such a feeling of earned greatness is lacking if the person is just glazing you, operating on some false premise that you're intrinsically a better person than they are. Seeking approval, fearing judgment, becoming clumsy and distracted by how they're perceived, and talking your ear off in a desperate attempt to distract themselves from their insecurities. They believe that if you will so much as acknowledge their existence, then they'll feel that they matter in some way. Such personalities are unfit for the sorts of missions organized by the Galactic Federation. They're annoying as fuck because they lack a single selfish bone in their body. They tie their entire existence to other people, and thus put an unnecessary burden on anyone they're around. In any series, this character would be utterly cancerous, but in Metroid, the series known for its isolating atmosphere that allows you to express your silent competence, this burden is so destructive that even the broader gaming community noticed. Miles is this game's Jar Jar Binks, the greatest in this list of stains defacing Metroid Prime 4. What's becoming more clear to me as more of these cringy elements are revealed about the game is that there is a significant lack of veto power for ideas, and it seems that the least original, most un-Metroid ideas are rising to the surface. Retro's process for making games is clearly compromised, and even if they manage to have some decent gameplay, it seems it's more likely to have happened by accident than by design. I cannot get behind these Metroid games if this is what we can expect going forward. You know, everyone holds out hope until their franchise is the next to die. I guess it's just my turn now. And of course, as it was with Metroid Dread, there will be loads of defenders telling me I'm wrong about Beyond because it still has many Metroid elements left in it, that I can't dismiss the game if it's not entirely bad. The question I have is, why is it assumed that the bad is inevitable? Why are you telling me that just because some of the Metroid experience was left intact, I'm now obligated to subject myself to this? Why sit here and act like we have to respect the IP holders? The truth is, we don't have to accept whatever baffling changes are forced onto our favorite franchises. It's incorrect to act like the future of our favorites hangs on the decisions of a despotic corporate entity. The truth is, Metroid doesn't belong to Nintendo. It belongs to us. Each and every one of us. The Dr. M64s and Team Cherries of the world have been more rightful heirs of the Metroid legacy than Nintendo's appointed developers for almost 2 decades now. I've been saying it on my channel for a while now that you can't own an idea, and thus you can't own your art. It's better for us if we consistently act like that. We don't owe moral sanction to Mercury Steam, Nintendo, or even Retro Studios simply because their employees used to contribute to this franchise and this genre. Metroid and Metroidvania are ours. Just as Super Mario 64 belongs to the ROM hacking and speedrunning communities, Smash belongs to the Smash community, and Sonic belongs to the Sonic community. We don't have to let that creative 2000s energy die with that decade. We don't have to accept the anti-reason, anti-technology, anti-progress views of the current day. We can stand up and boldly say, no, technology will not destroy us. Technology is the tangible embodiment of man's capacity to think and improve his life. Its ability to do what we can't is precisely why it is our greatest strength. And what better way to do that than embracing Metroidvania, showing how man gathers his resources to go where he couldn't before, in his effort to purge the deepest, most alien evils in the galaxy. I sure am doing my part in this. I've recently made the jump to doing my game dev full-time, for as long as I'm comfortable living off my savings. It's my intention to finish my Chandroid Sweetheart, and I've made incredible progress in just the past week. Once my game is complete, I hope to offer it for free, only asking for money if people want to support my future work. If you're interested in keeping up with this project, join my Discord, linked in the description or shown as a QR code right here.